98 billion. That is all the XRP that will ever be present in the world. Now, there are a little more than 60 billion XRP in circulation. But what if I told you that over time, the amount of XRP you can use will go down a lot? With all the new ETFs coming out and other things going on in the crypto world, I want to go over this again because it seems like a lot of these good utility-based projects are going to be eaten up. Now, let's talk about XRP. It is in a very interesting place in this market. It's because, we now have ETFs that are aimed at XRP. There are also big players and retail players who are after XRP. There are even companies that are after XRP at the same time. That Ripple still has 34 billion XRP in escrow, which is almost 38 billion XRP. It's 34 points, which is almost 8 billion. I think this is more up to date than CMC because the circulating quantity is 60.17 billion coins, as far as I know. We have 65.2 billion here. This was changed an hour ago. This is, changed almost every day. Of course, if we look at the top holders, we can see that all of the escrow is here. The escrow is all of Ripple's holdings, which add up to 34.8 billion. So, there are currently 62 billion XRP in circulation around the world. Oh, we are seeing that the stock that is moving around is being eaten up more and more. It's clear that the quantity on exchanges is going down a lot. I think that goes back to the idea of number one, which is that a lot of money is building up. Second, store sales are also going up. Third, we're also seeing more and more stock being bought up on over-the-counter OTC sales. This is because of the ETF wave, of course, that we'll also talk about. But I want you to know that over time, even the amount of XRP burned will go up a lot. This is because more transactions mean more demand on the network, which means more XRP burned. In other words, the amount will go down over time. It's a big deal that XRP is a product that keeps prices low. It's a big deal, especially since market demand is beginning to rise quickly in this area. There is no safety in crypto trading. It also doesn't matter how big the trade is. In February, $1.4 billion was stolen from Bybit, which is the fourth largest cryptocurrency exchange by trade volume. This was one of the biggest hacks in the history of cryptocurrency. When we look at the top 10 crypto hacks of all time, most of them happened at big exchanges. So where else can we keep our crypto besides cold storage? Well, I Trust Capital has premium custody accounts, which are one of the best places to store your crypto because they are fully closed loop systems that are meant to keep assets separate and safe. When you hold digital assets on their site, you can only withdraw them in USD linked to a US bank account. This is the best part. This means that wallets can't connect to other wallets, which makes them less vulnerable to phishing or moves that aren't supposed to happen. So if you want to use one of the safest places to store your crypto, you can sign up right now using my link in the description below. If you put $1,000, you'll get an extra $100 in bonus funds. Based on this, we can say that more ETF goods are coming out. The most current one is Bitwise, which we talked about yesterday. Oh, now, how good was this launch? Okay, we have this from James Seifert. As of now, a little more than 3 hours have passed, and XRP is almost worth $22 million. Pretty good for the second product to hit the market, which came out a week after Canary Fund's XRPC, which is the biggest launch of the year so far. Also, for those of you who know, XRPC was a big deal. The number that I think it ordered was about $2,950,000 in the first day. Now, I will say that Bitwise's did come in a little lower. I was surprised by how well Bitwise's did. It wasn't really that important. Seriously, yes, Stephen McClurg did say that our friends at Bitwise should be very proud of their XRP ETF today. Wall Street will see that you don't have to be BlackRock to come out with the top 5 ETFs of 2025. As long as you don't beat us to first, we want you to get this one in the top 5 too. Thanks for paying attention to this. Now, as I already said, Canary got a sum of $58.9 million. When we look at XRP, which is the Bitwise one, 1.13 million people saw this page. I might be a little off here because the price did drop a bit, but this is how much money came in during the day and how much it was like when we closed. Inflows of about $25.4 million are seen here as a whole. I had high hopes, as I already said. The fact that XRPC was the first one to start makes this a little less impressive, but it does make sense. They did, more than 58 million. Bitwise, things will be a little different, but there will still be a lot of money coming in. Now, the most important thing to think about is whether or not these daily inflows of XRP from ETFs are very large. No, but it will be in the long run, which is something we'll also talk about in a moment. We did see another start from Bitwise, though. Thanks a lot to Bank XRP for this. The SEC has given NYSE Arca permission to list the Bitwise 10 Crypto Index ETF. This item follows the Bitwise 10 index and has a daily net asset value, NAV, and reference prices that can be checked. At least 85% held in assets approved by the SEC. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana ADA, and other cryptocurrencies are mixed in this mix. A big step toward more people being able to join regulated crypto markets. This is just one more launch or big push for crypto ETFs. And of course, XRP is part of it. Oh, we love this. This is really cool to see. Of course, over time, there will likely be a lot more good as based on XRP. We already know that a few launches are coming up, and we'll talk about those in this movie as well. I'd like to play a short video clip from Bitwise's CIO, Matt Hogan. We have here another post by Bank XRP. 2026 is the same as ETF. Wow, more than 100 new crypto ETFs are on the way, and the XRP ETF is almost ready. More than $1 billion is expected to come into crypto ETFs quickly, and institutional adoption is speeding up. Look it over. But the growth of index-based crypto ETPs is what I'm most excited about. Someone whose crypto is only a small part of their wealth is likely to be the next person to buy it. They might not have an opinion about Ethereum versus Solana or Bitcoin versus another asset. They only want to buy a lot of crypto and keep it for a long time. I'm excited about new projects like Solana and XRP. I think a few more will be really great. I think Chainlink will be a great start. There will be more coming down the pipe. Index CTPs, on the other hand, I believe will be one of the most important crypto stories of 2019, and I think it will be one of the main areas where people spend in the end. Bitwise has, of course, run index funds for 8 years. To be clear, I'm talking about my book, but I do believe that the most popular way to invest is to buy a bunch of these things and bet that this business will be 10 times bigger in the future. What I'm most excited about is also another big thing, right? People want to buy, hold, and wait it out. Because after all, they saw the same thing happen during the dot-com boom, right? Yes, there was a huge crash when the dot-com bubble burst. After that, though, we could see, though it took a while, the only real companies that stay in business are the ones that grow into huge companies like Amazon. So if we look at this rationally, I believe he is right. A lot of people are buying these ETFs and hanging on to them while they wait to see what happens. What I'm mostly thinking about here is that the quantity will go down a lot over time. The following ETFs, when the fee... Yes, Stephen McClurg did say that our friends at Bitwise should be very proud of their XRP ETF today. Wall Street will see that you don't have to be BlackRock to come out with the top 5 ETFs of 2025. As long as you don't beat us to first, we want you to get this one in the top 5 too. Thanks for paying attention to this. Now, as I already said, Canary got a sum of $58.9 million. When we look at XRP, which is the Bitwise one, 1.13 million people saw this page. I might be a little off here because the price did drop a bit, but this is how much money came in during the day and how much it was like when we closed. Inflows of about $25.4 million are seen here as a whole. I had high hopes, as I already said. The fact that XRPC was the first one to start makes this a little less impressive, but it does make sense. They did, more than 58 million. Bitwise, things will be a little different, but there will still be a lot of money coming in. Now, the most important thing to think about is whether or not these daily inflows of XRP from ETFs are very large. No, but it will be in the long run, which is something we'll also talk about in a moment.